can I be present if I fight against my ego? Absolutely. That which we do battle with our ego inside is something that requires a great deal of awareness, a great deal of honesty. But here's where I would slightly amend it. Don't think about it as a fight. Don't think about it as a battle. And the reason being, ultimately the goal is to expand. The truth of who we are is expansive, is infinite, is boundless. That's what the soul is. It's what the spirit is. It's what the capital S self is. It's what consciousness is. Again, all of those different words. But it's boundless. It's infinite. It's not bounded by this body. We know that because the body keeps changing, right? I mean, first you had a body that was this size. And then the body got bigger and bigger. And as we get older, the body starts to, kind of shrink a little bit again. But our soul didn't change size. Our spirit didn't change size. Our self didn't change size. It doesn't get bigger or smaller. You don't lose some percentage of it if you have to have a limb amputated. Like, there's the 5% that's held in my arm. It's boundless. And there's enough room in there for the part of my lowercase s self that we call ego. And on a personal level, I know some people do use the vocabulary of battle and fighting. And it does feel like one inside because the ego is very stubborn. The ego is very clever. The ego has a way of masquerading as pretty much whatever it thinks we want it to be. So you're trying to make a decision in your life. You've decided you're going to not listen to your ego, but you're going to listen to your quiet inner voice. And the next thing you know, there's the ego with the quiet inner voice mask on it, telling you miraculously the same thing the ego had been telling you. And you wonder, wow, I guess I am supposed to do this. Look, there's my quiet inner voice saying the same thing. So it's stubborn, it's clever. But it's not bad. It's not the enemy. The problem with the ego, the only reason that we need to annihilate the ego when we speak about it like that, is the ego is that which keeps us separate. So the ego is that which says, this is you. And of course, there are going to be days that you're thrilled with what is me. I look great. My bank account is doing well. My relationships are doing well. But there are days I'm not so happy with the package. And so what the ego does is it kind of makes our life like a surfing ride where we go up and down because who I am is this. And the ego also prevents deep connection with others because connection has to be rooted in something that's not bounded by the physical body. So that's the problem with the ego, is it's really just stuck. It's stuck in this physical existence. What's happened to it, how we feel about what's happened to it, how what's happened to it is impacting me today. That's what the ego does. Well, 40 years ago, my uncle did this, and that's the ego. The ego's the one that says, well, I've really got to tell you about me in all of this. Or what's in it for me in all of this? That's the ego. Where's my voice in all of this? Where am I? That's the ego. Because the truth is, there is no my, there is no your. I mean, if we're looking at the deepest level where we're going spiritually, it's just is. It's not even us or we, it just is. But the ego doesn't know how to do that. And so the ego keeps us from that experience. So what I would say is be present with the ego. Look at it. See it. It's like a child. It's really like a child. When are you going to play with me, Mom? You've been meditating all day long. When are you going to play with me? When am I going to get cookies? Is all you do meditate? You know, this is the ego wanting attention and time and importance. And when we look at it and we understand it and we see it and we realize it has served us, the ego has served us. Because the truth is, when you're being hurt by or abused by or betrayed by others in the world, particularly when you're young, it's actually really helpful to have a sense that they are separate from you. This is where the, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words won't hurt me, that we all teach our kids when they go to school. This is where that comes from. You can say it, but it's not hurting me. Because we're different. And so the ego actually served us. It served us growing up. It served us understanding that which was happening between our parents when they fought, or if they separated, that it wasn't about us. It gave us that sense of individuality. But just to understand, okay, I don't need you right now. When I've got to suit up and go back to the office and be, Mr. CEO, I'll let you know. You can come along for that ride. But at the moment, see, I'm meditating. Or at the moment, see, I'm being in love. At the moment, see, I'm chanting, I'm reading, I'm writing, I'm serving. At the moment, really, it's not about me. So if we can develop a relationship like that, then we understand that our ego isn't us, so we don't feel quite so suffocated by it. Because that's also what the ego does, is it really suffocates us. It's like sharing a room with someone who just never shuts up. And it's always nagging, and it's always judgmental, and it's always negative. I mean, it really wears on you after a while. And that's what the ego is. So it's just a matter of, I see you. I see you. But right now we're going to have some alone time. So just try, and this is on a personal level, to just see what it feels like if it's not about a fight, it's not about a battle, but it's really about seeing that part of us. In the same way that we would see a child who every time we sat to meditate kept pulling on us and saying, Mom. Well, you're not going to try to annihilate your child, right? I mean, you're gonna try to help it understand. You're gonna try to stay in your meditation while having compassion for the child. And that has always felt to me much more of a conducive way of working with my ego than an hour by hour battle of annihilation. Just feels somewhat more harmonious inside.